So here's our objective for our word study this week. We're going to work on dividing words into syllables and being able to identify and pronounce vowel team syllables in words. So we'll find out what we mean by vowel team syllables in a moment. Now, we're going to reread paragraph 2 from the writing of John Burroughs. So let's zoom on in and see what we have. I'm going to pull my highlighter out. Burroughs' habit of studying and reflecting on nature stayed with him his entire life. He became a government worker and a teacher, and he also gained fame writing essays for magazines. By the 1800s, Burroughs had become a full-time writer. He wrote of fishing and hiking. He wrote about the seasons. He wrote about the birds, flowers, and animals he saw outside his window. Now, I highlighted some words for us. I highlighted teacher, and I highlighted seasons. And I'm going to circle part of those to see if you can figure out what a vowel team syllable is. So I have this chunk right here, and I have this chunk right here. Do you have any guess what a vowel team syllable might be? Vowel team syllables have long or short vowels and use two or more letters to spell out each vowel sound. In the words teacher and seasons, for example, the vowel team EA spells out the long E sound. Note that not every word with the vowel pair has a vowel team syllable. For example, the word scientific doesn't have the vowel team syllable because it's pronounced scientific, with each vowel part in its own syllable. So looking at scientific, I'm going to type it out for us. And notice this part right here, oops, I spelled it wrong, entific is broken up. So even though these vowels are together right here, that I and the E, they're not in the same syllable, so it's not going to be a vowel team syllable. True, it does make a long I here, but this is my second syllable chunk, so that I is making that long I sound for something different. It's a little confusing, so we're going to look at some more examples for us as we get the hang of it. So I have this chart over here that we're going to be working on, and I'm going to share with you these words: eager, creature, and reader. And I'm going to circle our syllables, and I want you to tell me if they have, actually I'm going to highlight them, if they're a vowel team. Cree, and what's our last one? Re. So those are my vowel teams. And what do I notice about them? Well, again, they all have that long vowel sound. So how would I organize these vowel teams? I would put them in a category that shows that they're long vowel sounds with that long E. Now, what if I have these guys right here? So here's some more that we'll have. What if I have found? What if I have avails? What if I have friends? And what if I have pause? So let's look at these. So we've looked at a group of vowel team syllables that use the EA vowel pairing. Now look at other words from the reading that use different vowel team syllables. So we're going to look at this word, avails, and what do we notice? I notice that part right there. That's a vowel team power. So I'm going to put it in this chunk right here, avails. What do I notice about my next one? AU, pause. That makes that ah sound. Ahs. So those two vowels are going together in the same syllable, that same vowel sound. What do we have for our next one? We have friends. And notice how that friends gets put together. And then our next one is found. Found. Notice how it's making that ow sound, that OU. So this is a little bit confusing because they don't really make those sounds that we're used to. Now we're going to look at even more, and again, you're going to visit this again later, so if it's still confusing or stuck on it, it's perfectly alright. We're going to look at paragraph 5 and see what ones we can find that have that vowel team sound. So paragraph 5, here we go, right here. His gentle, lyrical writing gives a human dimension to non-human subjects. For example, in The Chipmunk, Burroughs observes that the main character is emerging from its winter's nest. Now rested, the chipmunk is ready for a glorious spring. So what do we notice here? Well, Burroughs, glorious. That us sound right there is making the sound that we found in found. So let's go now and see if we can find some more. So I want you to look at this vowel team pair, because this one's going to be a little interesting. I'm going to write it on the side. There's the word believe. What do you think about that? Comparing it to friends. Because notice, this pair right here both have IE, but there's something different about it. Even though they're paired together, they have different vowel sounds. So just because they're paired together doesn't always mean they're going to make that same sound. Now your spelling words for this week are going to work on those team pairings, those vowel team pairs. And these are your spelling words. We have eagerly, we have creature, we have proclaimed, we have because, we have believed, we have people, we have groundhog, and we have cloudy. Now, looking at this, are there any examples that we see here that relate to Burroughs, our author? Oops. Yeah, cloudy. But notice how even though they have the vowel pairs, they're making different sounds. Cloudy, Burroughs. So we're just looking at how those vowels are paired together and looking at their saying. Good luck today, guys, and I'll see you later.